Little Brother, Chapter 19, Part 3. I made it as far as the other end of the alley before she, Masha, caught up with me, tackling me from behind and sending me sprawling. I couldn't move very fast. Not with my hurt foot and the weight of my pack. I went down in a hard face plant and skidded, grinding my cheek into the grimy asphalt. Yeesh, she said, you're an idiot. You didn't believe that, did you? My heart thudded in my chest. She was on top of me, and slowly she let me up. Do I need to cuff you, Marcus? I got to my feet. I hurt all over. Come on, she said. It's not far now. It turned out to be a moving van on a Nob Hill side street, a 16-wheeler the size of one of the ubiquitous DHS trucks, still turned up on San Francisco's street corners, bristling with antennas. This one, though, said three guys in a truck moving on the side, and the three guys were very much in evidence, trekking in and out of a tall apartment building with a green awning. They were carrying crated furniture, neatly labeled boxes, loading them one at a time onto the truck, carefully packing them. She walked around the block once, apparently unsatisfied with something. Then, on the next pass, she made eye contact with the man who was watching the van, an older black guy with a kidney belt and heavy gloves. He had a kind face, and he smiled at us as she led us quickly, casually, up the truck's 3 stairs and into its depth. Under the big table, he said. We left you some space there. The truck was more than half full, but there was a narrow corridor around a huge table with a quilted blanket thrown over it and bubble wrap wound around its legs. Masha pulled me under the table. It was stuffy and still and dusty under there, and I suppressed a sneeze as we scrunched in among the boxes. The space was so tight that we were on top of each other. I didn't think that Ange would have fit in. I hate you, I said, looking at Masha. Shut up. You should be thanking me. You would have ended up in jail in a week, two tops. Not Gitmo by the Bay either. Syria, maybe. I think that's where they sent the ones they really wanted to disappear. I put my head on my knees and tried to breathe deeply. Why would you do something so stupid as declaring war on the DHS anyway? I told her. I told her about being busted, and I told her about Daryl. She patted her pockets and came up with a phone. It was Charles's. Wrong phone, she said. She came up with another phone. She turned it on, and the glow from its screen filled our little fort. After fiddling for a second, she showed it to me. It was the picture she'd snapped of us just before the bombs flew. It was the picture of Holu and Nan and me and Daryl. I was holding in my hand proof that Daryl had been with us minutes before we'd all gone into DHS custody. Proof that he'd been alive and well and in our company. You need to give me a copy of this, I said. I need it. When we get to LA, she said, snatching the phone back. Once you've been briefed on how to be a fugitive without getting both of us caught and shipped to Syria. I don't want you getting rescue ideas about this guy. He's safe enough where he is. For now. I thought about trying to take it from her by force, but she'd already demonstrated her physical skill. She must have been a black belt or something. We sat there in the dark, listening to the three guys load the truck with box after box, tying things down, grunting with the effort of it. I tried to sleep, but couldn't. Masha had no such problem. She snored. There was still light shining through the narrow, obstructed corridor that led to the fresh air outside. I stared at it through the gloom and thought of Angie, my Angie, her hair brushing her shoulders as she turned her head from side to side, laughing at something I'd done. Her face when I'd seen her last, falling down in the crowd at Vamp Mob. All those people at Vamp Mob, like the people in the park, down and writhing, the DHS moving in with truncheons, the ones who disappeared. Daryl. Stuck on Treasure Island, his side stitched up, taken out of his cell for endless rounds of questioning about the terrorists. Daryl's father, ruined and boozy, unshaven, washed up and in his uniform, for the photos, weeping like a little boy. My own father, and the way he had been changed by my disappearance to Treasure Island. He'd been just as broken as Daryl's father, but in his own way, and his face when I told him where I'd been. That was when I knew that I couldn't run. That was when I knew that I had to stay. Masha's breathing was deep and regular, but when I reached with glacial slowness into her pocket for her phone, she snuffled a little and shifted. I froze and didn't even breathe for a full 2 minutes, counting 1 hippopotami, 2 hippopotami. Slowly her breath deepened again. I tugged the phone free of her jacket pocket, 1 millimeter at a time, my fingers and arm trembling with the effort, moving so slowly. Then I had it, a little candy bar shaped thing. I turned to head for the light when I had a flash of memory. Charles, holding out his phone, waggling it at us, taunting us. It had been a candy bar shaped phone, silver, plastered in the logos of a dozen companies that subsidized it. Too dim to see the phone clearly in the truck, but I could feel it. Were those company decals on its side? Yes. I had just stolen Charles's phone from Masha. I turned back around slowly, slowly, and slowly I reached back into her pocket. Her phone was bigger and bulkier, with a better camera, and who knew what else? I'd been through this once before. That made it a little easier. Millimeter by millimeter, again, I teased it free of her pocket, stopping twice when she snuffled and twitched. I had the phone free of her pocket, and I was beginning to back away when her hand shot out, fast as a snake, grabbed my wrist, hard, fingertips grinding away at the small, tender bones below my hand. I gasped and stared into Masha's wide open, staring eyes. You are such an idiot, she said conversationally, taking the phone from me, punching at its keypad with her other hand. How did you plan on unlocking this again? I swallowed. I felt bones grind against each other in my wrist. I bit my lip to keep from crying out. She continued to punch away with her other hand. Is this what you thought you'd get away with? She showed me the picture of all of us, Daryl and Holu, Van, and me. This picture? I didn't say anything. My wrist felt like it would shatter. Maybe I should just delete it. Take temptation out of your way. Her free hand moved some more. Her phone asked her if she was sure, and she had to look at it to find the right button. That's when I moved. I had Charles's phone in my other hand still, and I brought it down on her crushing hand as hard as I could, banging my knuckles on the table overhead. I hit her hand so hard, the phone shattered, and she yelped, and her hand went slack. I was still moving, reaching for her other hand, for her now unlocked phone with her thumb still poised over the OK key. Her fingers spasmed on the empty air as I snatched the phone out of her hand. I moved down the narrow corridor on hands and knees, heading for the light. I felt her hand slap at my feet and ankles twice. I had to shove aside some of the boxes that had walled us in like a pharaoh in a tomb. A few of them fell down behind me, and I heard Masha grunt again. The rolling truck door was open a crack, and I dove for it, slithering out under it. The steps had been removed, and I found myself hanging over the road, sliding headfirst into it, clanging my head off the blacktop. Ouch! With a thump that rang my ears like a gong, I scrambled to my feet, holding the bumper, and desperately dragged down on the door handle, slamming it shut. Masha screamed inside. I must have cut her fingertips. I felt like throwing up, but I didn't. I padlocked the truck door shut instead.